Hey guys, today's April the 1st, Saturday of 2023, and I want to go over natural gas. Without any further delay, let's get into it. I want to drive in this thesis in your mind so you can kind of stay focused and know that this is the game plan that we have. Using a 5-year average, you can see that April is pretty strong, pretty strong. Using a 10-year average, April remains strong. Using a 15-year average, April still remains strong. Using a 20-year average, April remains strong. The game plan is buy now, sell in April, or if it continues going higher, I'll be happy, I'll be merry. But if it doesn't, the game plan is to ride the wave into April. Okay, so this is our Elliott wave chart. You can see we have a wave 5, 1, 2, 3, and there's a wave 4 projection of 321 all the way to like 399, 4 and change. You can see the Stokes right here are bottoming out. They haven't turned positive yet, but they're very, very oversold at the bottom of the range. If we go into our daily, you can see that there's a wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's a wave 5 right there. So now we have to just start trending higher. And you can see then the mobile bands, this gray line, we're about to break out. When you break out of the mobile bands, that means that price action is more positive. Once you get in the mobile bands, it's chop. When you go below the bands, it's a negative. So right now we're about to break out. So we got to see how next week is going to look. Yeah, this is a weekly chart. I haven't showed this chart. This is more a weekly base. I wanted to show you some things here. I'm using a pivot right here as a pivot to a trend line. And then you can see from these swing pivot highs right here, I want you to see that we're finding support with that trend line from the highs up here, these points. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out. It's finding support there. I ran neural net on the weekly, which is algorithm box, and it's saying there's a slow low here, and watch out for May 28th. Is it going to continue past April? We don't know. We just know seasonality. April is pretty much the peak. But you know, looking into May 28th, this is as a possible turning point. It kind of gets toppy around here, around the pretty much the first week of May. So just keep that in mind. I did some spectrum analysis on this on the weekly. I don't really work it on the daily, but I go back and forth, and you can see that they're kind of bottoming out here. I used 3 of the spectrum, most important ones, and they're kind of finding a cycle low here. So let's see how price actions behave. There's a harmonics box here that just hit around February. That didn't really, I mean, you got a nice pop here, but then it pulled back. So maybe that's what happened. And the simple glance, that's, not simple glance, simple model, that's just a composite of those 3 cycles. It's pretty much telling you there could be a possible turning point here. And then it goes up. Pretty much this whole area right here, anywhere from the 207 all the way down to 147, that's the demand zone. That's what I call the demand zone. Even if it dips, there's a lot of support in there. But my bet is that starting next week, or within the next 2 weeks, things will start to turn to the upside. Here is the natural cycles. I want to show you the annual, what the annual is showing. Let's kind of zoom in here a little bit. So the annual is showing that there's a possible bottom somewhere around here, and then it goes up, and then it kind of peaks around June. So something to keep in mind. Using the fast annual, which is the last 3 years, you can see that it bottoms out here on the last week of, or close to March, and then it peaks somewhere around June, or kind of tops out here in May. So you kind of see it gets toppy between May and June. And then using the mid annual, which is 12 years of data, and they kind of bottom out here. So a lot of things are just kind of indicating that we're very close to a bottom. We just got to see, we got to wait for price action to confirm it. And this one goes and it's a peak around June. And if we take the annual and decimal together, this is what you kind of get. So that low was around March the 26th, and then it hits a peak around 416. So we'll see how that plays out. Wanted to show you what price action has done, 5 years ago. It made a low on February the 18th, and then it peaked somewhere around the 618. If we do 10 years, you can see that it made a low somewhere around here, and it peaked somewhere around 422. You do 15 years ago, you can see that it bottomed. I mean, it bottomed in September, but there was another low here on the March 24th, and then it hit a peak somewhere around June the 29th. And if we go to 20 years, You can see that there was a spike here on March the 2nd, came down to April the 6th, and then popped all the way to June the 6th. And even if we do 25, we got a low on March the 7th and hit a peak around April the 12th. Those are the little things you want to kind of gauge and see what's happened in the past and see what could probably play out in the future. So this is annual Q strategy I played, looking at all the data that it has, and see what has it done in the past and what are the probabilities of it going higher. So it gives us some indication here that from here is 72%, it goes up. From here, it goes 77.9%, it goes up. And even from, what's that date? That's April the 3rd. And then going all the way to like April the 22nd, 73.1% that it goes up. And it shows you there's 19 up, 7 down out of all the data from 1993. This one is just 21 up and 6 down. So interesting, statistics and data, just to kind of let you know that, you're just not going long for, any, or you're thinking of going long just for any reason. There's probabilities and there's things backing you up in regards to that decision. And I've been showing you that and, nailing it and driving it in. All we have to wait and see that price action, follows that pattern. So this is the forecast in regards to statistics for next week. As you can see, this is what happened in the past. And Friday, I was kind of cautious because I thought they were going to, they were going to slam it down to trap, more bears and then, popped it. But, they didn't do that. They popped it to the upside, which was interesting. So it just shows that sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but at least But when you see volume increasing and price action like pushing very strong up, most of the time you just have to ignore this and follow what price action is doing. So let's get into the future. So for Monday, it says it's down minus 0.32. On Tuesday is up. I didn't put the number there. I need to fix that. But I know Tuesdays is up, and then Wednesday is down. Thursday is down. I don't have data for Friday. Maybe the market's closed. I can't remember. But there's no data for me for Friday. So down, down, and up. Now this week is very promising. This is the week that I'm very interesting to see what's going to happen here. There's a lot of positive days statistically in regards to trading day. So here's my mind map. As you can see, we just added the Black Widow. You guys will get a kick out of that. Anyway, she's the Black Widow. Be careful because she'll kill you. Couple of things I just added, commitments of trader report data. Large speculators are accumulating, commercial are unloading. So that's good. That's positive. That's going to be the catalyst for price action to go higher. Nothing's changed on the Elliott wave. Nothing's changed on the cycle. So that all remains the same. April 3rd, 6th, everything is going to be building up for next week. In regards to Gann dates, I got some new ones I added for April to put on your notes, sticky pads, whatever. This one's regards to time, April 5th and April 30th. You want to keep an eye on that. And another technique of Gann, you want to look at April 17th and April the 23rd. Possible swing highs? I don't know. We'll see. Let's just get off the ground and start trending higher. And then we'll start, focusing on where it could be the possible turning points to the upside. At the same token, raising your stop. Because we're dealing with, who? Black Widow.